All right, man, we back. Renardo, Mr. K, salute. We in the building. We're gonna talk about last night. I was gonna do a panel. Too tired, man. So I've been asleep all day. I watched what was it? Project. I forget the name. It was a great movie with Jamie Foxx. It had my man's from The Dark Knight in there. Project Power. You ain't seen that on Netflix? It's definitely worth the watch. Original, um, great cast, great acting. So I watched that. I watched that today, man, and then I watched some Legend of Korra. That's a spinoff of the last Avatar. And before I know it, I was sleeping in the mug. So tired. I'm gonna do boxing tomorrow as well. And also, I'm just gonna do video format for my playoff prediction. I was gonna do two lives today, but I just didn't have it in me, man. Got me some Middle Eastern food, watched some TV, and got opportunity to take a nap. So I don't. My days be so busy, I don't even have time to take naps. So be here. We're gonna talk about Rolly robbing um uh robbing Jackson Marinez last night. Also, McCaskill's beat Braekhus. I seen a little bit of the fight. I gotta go back and watch it. I was just happy Braekhus lost. Stipe defeats Daniel Cormier, excuse me. I watched that last night in its entirety. And now we talk about Benavidez. His fight looked a little bit fishy to me too. And that's just my opinion. But yeah, Project I forget, man. I'm tired of the motherfucker. I just woke up, so give me a minute. Um Project Power was, you know, good, man. So check that out, man. Jamie Foxx was in it, You like white actors, black actors, they had it, man. So that was a great movie. But don't forget, we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Facebook group, anytime you need to reach me, Twitter's the fastest way. Then IG, Facebook, and then the Facebook group. Check it out. Want to make a donation? Just share the video. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button if you're watching live on the replay. But Cash App, CJ Good 313, PayPal link in the description. Cash App there. Premieres and live stream. Excuse me. Super chat open. You can send stickers and all that type of good shit. But just appreciate it for everybody. Just if you do send money, send it Cash App, PayPal. I prefer it that way. But share the video. It's the best way to help out. So I mean, I'm not gonna hold it up no more. No more. We're gonna talk about Rolly, sorry ass, and then this dude sit here and play the role like he won last night. I mean Oscar De La Hoya. I mean Ryan Garcia. I mean you could just go on. Errol Spence, Devin Haney, Javante Tank Day. That was disgusting last night. You know what I'm saying? And the whole card was disgusting. Um, only thing that was more disgusting last night than that card was that knockdown on the zone that they didn't call a knockdown. You know what I'm saying? That just made me want to watch the UFC fight even more. I was entertained, but that dude didn't win one fucking round. All right, not to me. He didn't deserve to win a round. When they talk about no boxing skills, that's what you believe. No boxing skills. You talk about Deontay Wilder. Rolly make Deontay Wilder look like a technician. He made him look like Antonio Tarver last night. And I seen that kid fight on Bounce, I think, or somebody undercard. And I'm just telling myself, I'm like, what's the hype about? And I hear people that been in the gym with him, and and like I said, I don't have nothing against the kid. Oh, he hit harder than Tank. This day. What you gotta understand is all your power punches throughout history, it's been somebody to take that shit and give it back. Mike Tyson is the scariest of the scariest. Sonny Liston was the scariest of the scariest. Ken Norton, Shavers, George Foreman. You want to go on whatever punchers you want to go on. It's been somebody to stand up to the power. I've seen it too much. When you've been around the sport so long, you've seen it before. It's always that joker that can take that punishment and punch you back. And throughout history, most of your big punchers don't have a chin, and Rolly don't have no good chin neither. Let me say that. That Jackson Marinez kid, he take like 10% of the blame for this. You know what I'm saying? It's his fault because around the ninth round, had he stepped it up, he would have stopped Rolly. He was pushing Rolly head. He was snapping Rolly head back with a jab. Rolly was pathetic as a fighter. What did Prince Nazim say to Chris Eubanks Jr.? They talk about Eubanks Jr. They talk about Deontay Wilder not having skill. Dude, that he take it to a whole another level. In shape street fighter. How does Floyd let this joker come out of his gym like that? How do you represent TMT Money Team? Oh, it's the Money Team. How do you represent the Money Team like that? Like, this dude was stiff. This dude threw his jab like a straight right hand. Didn't even know how to let it flow. Didn't know how to shoot it like a pistol. His power jab was nowhere near like Mikey Garcia and Golovkin got two of the best power jabs you will see. He just throwing it. He loading up a jab. And when you load up the jab, or when you throw the jab as a power shot, look how Mikey dropped Robert Jr. He stepped into with that jab, but he was setting that shit up the whole time. Look how Golovkin throw his jab when he throw it as a power shot. He stepped into it. This dude was throwing a jab and just throwing it off balance and not even throwing it, the way he need to throw it. No, Floyd was in the gym with this kid leading up to this fight. I seen him. How does Leonard Ellerby look at this kid and say who match made this fight? Let's just start off there. Let's hit the reset button. J.A. General Pendant, everybody else in here. Francisco Charles. Who match made? And he has no amateur experience really. None. You know what I'm saying? And I knew that coming in. And I seen him fight before. I'm like, man, I just don't know what the hype about. You know what I'm saying? I seen Angelo Leo fight. I'm like, when my boy's like, he can fight, I'm looking like, oh, he pretty okay. I see it. You know what I'm saying? He get to fight versus Mighty Midget. I'm like, oh, okay. He looked better than he looked on film. He can fight. And I think he got a chance versus Stephen Fulton. People may not agree with me there. And I'm looking at Rolly. I'm like, dude, I don't see. Like, last night was like, man, me and Lion Killer was on the line. If y'all didn't see his stream today with Nate Campbell, Kelly Pavlik, great live stream. I put in the community tab. That was like one of the best live streams like you ever gonna see. And I'm looking and we talking on the phone about this fight. I ordered me some wings. I was drinking me some Hennessy. I mixed that shit with some papaya juice. I don't even drink like that. Shit was good. And I had the zone card on my TV. I had Showtime on my laptop because my Showtime stream wouldn't do good. So I got myself together. So we started talking. We just talking shit about Rolly the whole fight. There's nothing personal about the kid. It's not personal. I said around the 6th round. I said around the 6th round. I would have kicked my trainer out of the fucking ring. I'd have told him, what the fuck I need you for? This dude was and obviously he got some type of talent. He landed a shot here. He landed a shot there. You know what I'm saying? And obviously Marinez is not a top level fighter. What is he, 29? Okay record. You put him in there with, let's just say Mickey Bay. Let's just be nice and say Mickey Bay. Do you know what Mickey Bay would have did to Rolly? Do you know what Camboso would have did to Rolly? Do you know what Arances Bartholomew would have did to Rolly? And he not even an aggressive fighter. I know he fighting between 40 now. He would have beat the dog walking shit up. He was in there. He was in there with a guy that wasn't confident. A guy that I don't know what his advice was from the corner. Robert Garcia was out. He was in there with a guy that thought he was winning. Thought he was, I thought he won the majority of the rounds. But I told Lion Killer, I'm like, if he don't step on the gas, he gonna regret it. I told him that. I said he need to step on the gas. He can get Rolly out of there. The way Rolly hit was snapping back from a jab. All he had to do is put that dude in the back foot and start walking him down and beating Rolly up. He had stopped Rolly last night. So some of the onus going him, but Rolly just, man, y'all talk about Deontay. The hate for Rolly just wasn't real enough for me. The way they talk about Deontay Wilder, the way they celebrated Wilder losing, That'd be my problem. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I kind of don't really talk that black shit. I talk it when it's convenient. Like when the way they treated Wilder when he lost to Fury in the second fight, it was like a Negro celebration. Like everybody except for like Terrence Crawford and Clarissa Shields was like celebrating his loss. It was like a sigh of release. Like us as people, we do not like want to pass the baton, and that's crazy to me, bro. You know, you should look at another brother and be like, you look at your son. You want your son to be better than you. And Rolly, to me, didn't get enough hate last night. He got a backlash, but he is by far the worst professional fighter I've ever seen on that level. D-Dub salute. Angel Santos. He is the worst professional I ever seen fight on that level. Fight for a fake title, a real title. He is the worst professional fighter I've ever seen co-main event. I think it's some girls that can beat him. And I'm not saying that to be joking. I'm dead ass serious. He is trash. He need to go back to the amateurs if he could. You know, he need to go train with the amateur team. Footwork trash. Balance trash. Don't throw everything hard. Chin ain't that good. Chin pop up in the air. Trash. Trash. Like this is like you talk about Deontay Wilder. This is what no skill look like. Mick Conlon better than Rolly. Now let me. This is the worst I ever seen as a co-main event. Mick Conlon is 100 times better than Rolly. Let's get that established. Mick Conlon can fight. He can box. You know what I'm saying? He is not gonna look like that in a world title fight versus that level of opposition. Mick Conlon Rolly make Mick Conlon look like Muhammad Ali. Mick Conlon got some skill. He got something to work with. But he posed to. He was an amateur. He went for the gold medal twice, right? He went for the amateur. He pursued Olympic medal like 2 times. So he posed to be. But when you out here talking all that shit, MD salute. Oh, I beat Ryan Garcia and I beat him up in sparring. Y'all see the difference? Everybody take a picture of this. When he was beating up Ryan, everybody says he's beating up Ryan, right? And look what he looked like last night. Now, does that mean Jackson was better than Ryan Garcia? That day. But sparring and sparring, they don't tell him what Ryan was doing. Ryan could have got some coochie the night before and his legs wasn't there. Or Ryan could have worked out all day and Rolly could have came in fresh. You know what I'm saying? That means sparring means nothing. They showing a highlight of him beating up Ryan Garcia. Where was that yesterday? And Ryan Garcia beat the shit out of Rolly. Unless Rolly catch him, he'll beat the shit out of Rolly. Sparring don't mean nothing. It's disrespectful to mention Mick Conlon and Rolly in the same sentence. I can see Mick Conlon getting a real world title. I can see it. He not that bad. You know what I'm saying? You can see he got balance, he got jab, he got skills. Rolly don't have no skills. You know how you playing a limbo and somebody go real low to the ground, somebody go low, and then somebody able to go lower. You go, okay, Wilder is the worst, skill fighter I ever seen. Here come motherfucking Rolly. You be like, it ain't humanly possible for somebody to get that low. Here come Rolly. You know what I'm saying? Trash. And it ain't no, I'm not being even disrespectful. This is honest opinion. Mark Pinkerton, he say boxing took a big hit. Yes, obviously today's game, it doesn't matter to move a fighter properly with all BS titles. Exactly. No, I think Jerome Pinto say both trash. I don't think Ryan trash. I don't. Ryan Garcia, Ray salute. Ryan Garcia is not trash, bro. You know, trash don't, beat Devin Haney and the amateurs at any point. Ryan Garcia is not trash. Trash is what you seen last night. Oh man, give him Cobra been to beat the shit out of Rolly. That ain't no. That's you don't even put Cobra, Shakur. They ain't even in that class. You know what I'm saying? And Floyd signing guys like him, but Gary Anton Russell can't get on. Ryan ain't trash. Mick Conlon is not trash. Trash is what you seen last night. We redefining that. Rolly boxing skills below average. Below average, C4? Are you serious? Video below average? Or like you being hella nice. They don't exist. They don't exist. There's no average. There's no below. They don't exist. His boxing skills don't exist. If I could have retorted Vinny Slew, if I could have recorded that conversation that me and Lion Killer had last night, that motherfucker get 1 million views, bro. And motherfucker think it would have been a comedy sketch. It wasn't. That motherfucking conversation, and it was natural. It was a natural conversation. He like, hey man, I'm watching this dude ain't that good. He trash. And I said, I didn't think he was good to begin with. Yeah, I seen a little bit of him. I hear all the stories in the gym. He hit hard and time. And I looked last night. I thought it was a joke. I thought he was gonna come out. He predicted the first round knockout, and then he's gonna settle in. Hit the, work the man. Trash. Man, we got to the point. I said, it's some motherfuckers in my comment section that can beat his ass. Real talk. It's some people right here right now that you ain't never gloved up. You will have a chance versus him. Omarion 2.x. Salute. JJ, I see. Like, real talk, I feel like some motherfucker in here that have a little boxing experience and none, you can go out there and beat Rolly. Real shit. Jeff Boxes, he says one of the worst robberies I've seen. Man, look here, man. I'm telling you, it's some motherfuckers here right now, man. We can give you a LA Fitness boxing lesson. You can do better than that. Trash. He don't deserve to be on the motherfucking promotional company with Tank, Badou, Leo. Like, he got to have somebody better than Rolly. Amir is here. Clinton, salute. Like, real talk, like that's disrespectful. I'm like, Tank. I'm like, Floyd, I'm not coming back to this gym of this nigga fighting in this gym. Take his TMT shirt, take his TMT bag, take his TMT gym pass. That nigga got to go train. He got to go train at another gym. Then they got to train the parking lot to earn his way back in the gym. Put some bags out there. First, motherfucker, my first punching bag. Get him in my first punching bag. All he should be out there doing is learn how to slide and how to step forward, step to the side. Nothing else. Then he's going to put his back foot on the wall, how to jab off it with his back foot on the wall. Ryan Garcia dust him. I mean, no, Ricky E, come on. Salute to Ricky E over him. Dude. Any person y'all can name can dust this guy. C4 can dust him right now, bro. If he can make the weight. Charlie can dust him. Ricky can. Man, it's some fucking 80-year-old man that can dust that clown, bro. He can't fucking fight. He can't fight or box. He go on the street like that, man. Average nigga knocking him out. He go on the street like that average dude knocking that dude out. The average dude. Putting him cold to sleep. Teofimo Lopez made me mad, but we're going to talk about people that what they had to say. And don't say, oh, it wasn't his night last. Fuck that. It wasn't his night. That nigga need to be in the parking lot, in the TMT parking lot. Just working on stepping forward, stepping back, sliding, stepping forward. That's all, man. He need to go back to the basics. And he might be a little bit too cocky too. Like, dude was throwing punches like he had, like Stephen A. Smith. Remember Stephen A. Smith was throwing them punches at the shoulder surgery? Stephen A. Smith throw just like Stephen A. Smith. Like, dude, that was comical, dude. If I wasn't drinking no yak last night, I probably would have went live talking about that shit, bro. That was comical. The only reason that I didn't wake up more angry because I felt satisfied by UFC and I was happy McCaskill won last night. I don't do interviews, but I'd love to have her on. I would love to have Jessica McCaskill on. She could be that punk. He talk all this shit. Then after the fight, dog, like right, bro, I'm watching, right? Then after the fight, bro, Cuz got the audacity. I'm Ryan, Devin. Like, are you, dude? That made me even madder, bro. That made me even madder, bro. He had the, and then Steve. Let's talk about Steve Farhood for a minute. Steve Farhood had money in his pocket. He was giving Rolly rounds that he didn't even deserve, bro. That fight was too close, man. I didn't really see him win no round. Trash. They need to put him back in amateurs. Put him in the TMT parking lot. He need to be training with the kids. How you in the gym with motherfucking Eddie Mustafa Muhammad, Floyd Mayweather Sr., Floyd Mayweather Jr.? You know what I'm saying? How you in the gym with them dudes? Nigga, he need to go back to the G League. Man, not even the G League. He need to go back to preschool. He need to go bag some groceries on. He need to go sell some papers or something. When they said 118, 110, I'm thinking like, oh shit, Marinez won this shit, right? But then Lion Killer, while I was eating my chicken wings, I got me some chicken wings and shit. Eat some wings and shit. You drink. I'm like, I ain't hungry. I'm drinking. I'm like, let me give me some wings, some curly fries. So I got 22 wings, so I split that shit with my girl. And that shit's still in there. She take that shit to work tomorrow. Somebody can. So I'm eating. I'm like, man, he called me and shit. I'm wiping my mouth and shit. I had these motherfucking like pineapple teriyaki wings and shit. They was cool. And he called me because I don't know what I was like. I'm behind. My stream was behind. And when he called me, I picked it up. I said, and they said, oh, Rolly Ramirez. And I said, oh, I saw this nigga call me. They robbed this man. But let's talk about Marinez, right? Let's talk about Marinez. Marinez should have stopped this guy. All right, Marinez does not leave here without any responsibility. When they say don't leave it up to the judges, you got to understand the predicament, your environment, everything you win is controlled for Rolly to win. Telecast, the judges, Steven Espinoza got a really good relationship with Floyd Mayweather because Floyd Mayweather is he loyal to Steven Espinoza. He could have dragged Tank to Fox. He could have dragged Badou to Fox. And a lot of these dudes, he stayed loyal to Steven Espinoza, right? So he had to understand what he was in. He should have stepped on that gas. He should have stepped on that gas. He should have stepped on that gas. I said, look here. I was like, Lion Killer. I was like, Don, look here. I said, 7th, 8th, 9th round, he going to get him out of there. And he just kept throwing a couple punches, landing, step, he clinched him, he rolled. You know what I'm saying? David, that salute. I felt that he should have stepped in. Like a lot of dudes, like you can be an aggressive boxer puncher. You do know that. You don't have to just step to the side, pat, 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 step to the side. He was landing real leather shots. He would have sat down and started landing some shit, bro. And putting his punches together a little bit better. He would have stopped Rolly last night. Rolly ain't got no chin either. He too cocky. Anytime your head snap back from a jab, and this dude ain't even no puncher. Anytime your head snap back, he's just snap back. You ever hit one of them little bags? You get them for your house, and you might not put enough water at him, and you punching them. That's how his head was just snapping back. And this dude wasn't even hitting him with power punch. He hit him with a jab. And his head just snapped. It's just snapping back. Loose snap back. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't like eating him like, no. This dude he hold responsibility for this shit too. He should have put his punches together. He would have stopped this dude. This dude was ready to go. He was tired. His chin ain't there. Man, Marinez should have stepped on the gas. He should have stepped forward with his jab. He should have put his point. He would have stopped this dude. So he holds responsibility too. So I don't know what his corner was telling him. He said this dude only had 7. Man, he was snapping his head back with a jab. Imagine if he put the 2, came back with the left hook. Imagine he used to start putting his punches. He would have stopped this dude. 7 KOs and no KOs. He was hurting that guy. He was hurting Roly. But obviously, that's why they put him in there. That no look past salute. That's why they put him in there, because he didn't have no put. But he was hurting him. He bust his eye. He wiping his eye. All you had to do is step it up. He was brought in to be an opponent. And I just felt that, you know, his opponent mindset said he got complacent. He was like, oh, I'm winning this fight. And rightfully so. He didn't want to take a chance. He should have took a chance. His cornerman should have said, man, fuck that. Step it up. Not get this motherfucker out of here. He needed that Emmanuel Stewart, Lennox Lewis, Mike Tyson. What the F you doing, man? His man is dangerous. Get him up out of here. That's what he should have told him. Got him up out of there. He should have got him clean the fuck up out of here. He should have got him clean the fuck up out of there. He should have got him up out of there. And when he didn't, he had the right game plan, pop, slide, or step over. He, pop or hold him. He should have stepped it up. Maybe Robert was in his corner, he would have stepped it up. Robert Garcia, he was so angry last night. He talked to Ellie Setback, and he said he had different promoters call him and say it was the worst shit he ever seen. And, he was saying that, Floyd and Al is powerful. They got power even when the commissions don't know. And what's so funny, somebody was telling me that another fighter said that recently, how powerful Al Heyman was. And it's truly unfortunate, and it was a black eye for boxing last night. So I seen some robberies, I seen some bad scorecards, but that last night, that motherfucker to me didn't deserve a round. Yeah, I know Robert wasn't there. He was sick. But he said he passed the COVID test now. Not saying that the cornerman didn't do a great job. He did. He should have just stepped on the gas. This is a situation where open scoring would have did him well. And he basically, at the end of the day, no promoter go without his corruption. And they talking about the WBA, talking about reordering this fight. I wouldn't want to fight him again. For what? I beat him. Give me my title. But it was funny. The funniest thing last night was when Badou Jack said, Leonard Ellaby, I need them judges. If I'm Badou Jack, real talk, make sure you hit the thumbs up button to share the video. If I'm Badou Jack, bro, do Floyd got something against me, dog? That's what I got to ask myself. I lost a close decision, or I had a close draw, I think, was James DeGale. I lost a close decision versus Adonis Stevenson. I lost another close decision to John Pascal. If I'm Badou Jack, I'm looking at Floyd like I'm looking at Floyd like, man, you motherfucker. He said Rolly said no rematch. Man, out of here. I'll talk about that in a minute. Give me a minute. I'm not sure what the eyes were. If I'm Badou Jack, bro, if I see Floyd, like, I would choke that little nigga. I tell Floyd to go in the back room without a security. Let me holler at you, Floyd. I had that door pre-locked when I closed it, and I'd choke the shit out of Floyd Mayweather ass. I would choke the shit out of him. Both Badou Jack need to understand Floyd ain't for him. I don't know what Badou did to Floyd. And that's why you can't be messing with these Negroes, man. This is why you can't be signed to another fighter, bro, or another black fighter. Let's keep it that way. That's why you can't be signed to another black fighter, because they jealous. That's 300 or 400 years of oppression. Niggas is naturally jealous of each other. For For no reason, bro. You had the ugliest bitch on your arm, Line Killer Salute. You had the ugliest bitch on your arm. And niggas be jealous. Oh, look at this whole ass nigga, man. You be minding your business, cutting your grass. Look at this whole ass nigga. He think he good because he got the new John Deere. Floyd, I mean, that's embedded in a lot of black people, bro. What did Badou Jack do to Floyd, bro? Because Badou Jack should be undefeated damn near. Except for the Derek Edwards loss. How you let John Pascal pony down on you? John Pascal is the mandatory for better BF for the WBC, by the way. He got a fight coming up. Somebody asked me last stream. He got a fight coming up this month or next month. I can't remember what it is. I'm Badou Jack, bro. I damn near pistol whipped the shit out of Floyd. Ain't nobody talking about that, though. If I'm Badou Jack, bro, I probably choke the shit out that peanut head bitch. You ever think about some shit? You be sitting there thinking, you like, this motherfucker did do that. You kind of put it together. Women do that all the time. You know what I'm saying? They piece shit together and they be mad at you for the whole day, and then they come out the end. Oh, you was with Shirley, huh? Nah, baby. I just be looking at Floyd like, man. I'm like, hey, Floyd, let me holler at you in the locker room, bro. I'll be back. I'll beat the shit out of Floyd, bro. Badou Jack should have won all three of those fights. And you got to ask yourself, if they got the power to rob this, if Badou Jack would have won any of those three fights, the Gale, Adonis Stevenson, or John Pascal, would anybody in here would have had the reaction they had today? No, everybody said, "Oh, could have went either way." And Badou is a black Sweden, a Swedish guy. But Floyd sit here and put his reputation on the line for this Cuban kid. Ain't that some shit? Floyd sit here and put this kid in position to get a belt. He put it on the line. He wouldn't put it on the line for nobody else. He wouldn't even put it on the line for Tank probably. You know, and that's just what it is. I wouldn't even fuck with Floyd, bro. He ain't just somebody. Like, y'all be laughing at Adrian Broner. Hold on. Y'all be laughing at Adrian Broner and shit. Y'all be sitting there like, oh man, AB, man, Floyd treating him like a little bitch. But AB just a real nigga, though. That's all it boiled down to. AB from the street. That's why Floyd jealous of Adrian Broner. He a certified street nigga, for real. He what Floyd want to be. Floyd got all that money, but he ain't got the street credibility. But if I'm Badou Jack, bro, next time I see Floyd, I'll probably let me holler at you, bro. You got this funky ass Cuban non-fight motherfucker. This ain't Lara. This ain't one of Luis the Cuba's boys. This ain't Gamboa. This ain't Regan Diao. It ain't nobody. This some strag. You put your TMT on the line for this motherfucker, he ain't gonna go nowhere. And I couldn't get 1, 2 decisions. Badou Jack win them 3 fights, or them first two fights. Badou Jack a Hall of Famer. No, he got some Swedish in him. Are you talking about John Pascal? He from Canada. Take the test, Bernard. Take the test. Take the test, Bernard. The fans, Bernard. Take the test. But somebody said that Brody said he not giving no rematch. Man, he was a punk. He's a punk. He's from Montreal. He's a punk. Oh, I ain't giving no rematch. You know, this like, dude, I wouldn't even sanction that dude to fight again. I wouldn't even sanction. You could have that weak belt. I wouldn't even sanction that fight again. Leonard Ellerby couldn't. I wouldn't even want to hear nothing else from him. Nothing else from him. At the end of the day, they should be banned from the sport. Mayweather Promotion should be banned from promoting boxers. Who can he fight and compete with in the top? Nobody. Nobody. He can't beat nobody. You can weigh 130 and let him weigh 135, and most 35 pounders will beat the shit out of Rolly. He talking about I ain't giving no rematch. I get out of use it. Like, come on, man. And then Teofimo Lopez gonna congratulate him. Teofimo Lopez gonna congratulate him like he really won last night. And I'm like, man, I don't care how much you my homeboy is, bro. I ain't condemning that. It almost made me want to roll with Loma. It almost make you want to roll with Loma. How you sit there and text that off your phone? Now, if he get robbed like that with Loma, I ain't shedding no tears. This ain't Tupac. I ain't shedding so many tears. If he go in there and Loma go up and he get robbed versus Loma, Johnny, salute. Your boy lost, Johnny. That's all I'm going to say. Your boy lost. Your boy lost. He ain't went around. You know I like Leo. I like Leo. Leo a dog. But Rolly, that ain't it. That ain't it. What y'all in there teaching that motherfucker? Shit. He needed to drop the weights. He need to go back to preschool. But him not wanting to give him a rematch, so fucking what? Would you want to go back in there and fight him again? No. But Marinez does hold 10%. He should have stopped him. He didn't. And we move on. If I'm Marinez, the world know I won the fight. He should have stopped him. He didn't. We move on. Teofimo Lopez, I didn't like the comment, but that's his boy. He didn't win. Oscar De La Hoya chimed in. He sound like a bitch too. He like, oh man, forget about him, Ryan. He ain't shit. Well, shit, if he ain't shit, I'd love to see Ryan jump in the ring and fight Rolly did. He said he still got the job done. He's going to rematch. No, he said no rematch. He said no rematch, according to some people in here. He ain't get the job done last night, baby. Hell no. Hell no. I know that's your boy. Hell no. You need to get that belt back. He says my dog, so I'm gonna be by. I get you. I feel you. You need to get that belt back. You need to get that belt. I don't know what he was on last night. But Marinez should have put the pedal to the metal and got him out of there. He didn't. But last night, man, I was disgusted, man. I was disgusted. But we move on. Only person that should be madder than Jackson Marinez. He said, no, I talked to him. He rematched. All right, there you go right there. He said he rematched. So Rolly gonna give him a rematch. Only person that should be madder than Jackson Marinez and Robert Garcia and them is Badou Jack. If Badou Jack had them judges, Badou Jack would have only one loss. Badou Jack would be a Hall of Famer. Because he'd have beat DeGill for 168 for supremacy, and he would have beat the lineal champion, Adonis Stevenson. And then he probably wouldn't even have to fight John Pascal. He'd probably fought somebody. If I'm Badou Jack, man, when I see Floyd, I choke the shit out of him. I couldn't get one of them judges, Floyd. I just couldn't get them judges on them 3K. Badou Jack has been on the side of the. He been on the bad side of judges too fucking much and too long. I love me some Badou Jack. Badou Jack if anybody deserved them judges, Badou Jack did. That's some bullshit. If I'm Badou Jack, when I see Floyd, I don't even care. I'm going upside his head. Badou Jack had one loss to Derek Edwards on the. That's Badou, man. I'm Badou, man. When Badou Jack lost to Stevenson, man, it hurt my heart. When he lost to DeGill, he had to draw DeGill. I'm like, come on, bro. He beat all three of them in Pascal, bro. He beat all three of them, dog. That Badou and Stevenson fight had me hot. That fight had me hot, bro. I ain't gonna mince no words. But let's move on to David Benavidez ass. He goes in and fight Alexis. What's his dude name? Romero, Alexis Angulo. It seemed like they paid Angulo to come in there and be a sparring partner. We was talking about that last night on the horn. You know what I'm saying? You know, we was talking about that. Like Angulo sat there like he was the opponent. He had Benavidez on the road. Benavidez whole belly be hanging out. He just headbutt or he just lean his head in on Benavidez. It seemed like Angulo sat there and he got back to his Reebok bag and it was a brown paper bag in it. Because in the beginning, David Benavidez had some issues trying to start his engine. And it seemed like Angulo had a good chance to kind of he had a good chance to put it in the bank, man. Angulo sat there. He took the bag, in my opinion. He said if he can fix it and win in the rematch, people will forget. Oh, I ain't forgetting that one. I ain't forgetting that one. The only way that's more forgettable is if he had fought on Floyd undercard or it was on a bigger stage. You know, David Benavidez last night, it seemed like his opponent was just sit there to be an opponent and not to win. That's how I look at it. Angulo had a lot of opportunities to hit and beat Benavidez, and then Benavidez kind of woke up and he started putting his punches together. But Angulo could have did a lot better than he did. He came there to lose. He didn't come there with a win on his mind at all. It was opportunities even before Benavidez started putting the punches together for him to win that fight. And I just thought he said he was there to be. I just think when he got to his Reebok bag, it was some money in there. It was some money in there. I just think he got to the Reebok bag and it was a couple dollars in there for him. That's how I looked at that fight. You know, and Benavidez, he was 195 pounds in there last night. Oh, hey, Jamaica, long time no see. No, I didn't get to Braekhus yet. You know what I'm saying? He was 195 pounds in there last night. I don't know what Romero weighed, but this dude was a cruiserweight, almost on the fringe of being a heavyweight. Benavidez, he woke up, started throwing some punches, but Angulo was brought there to be an opponent. He had an opponent mindset. I don't know if that brown paper bag was in his bag. All right, I think that brown paper bag was in his bag, and I think Benavidez, if he's still working with Alex Ariza, I don't want to make no insinuations about him, but I ain't sure, bro. I'm not sure about his cleanliness. Wow, how clean he is. I'll just say that. I like the kid. Benavidez can fight. He can punch. But last night, for you to come in 3 pounds overweight, right? Romero didn't get a rehydration clause, which he should. And you come in like that and you get stronger through the fight and don't get tired. And you was a guy who fought Ronald Garville in the first fight before Alex Ariza. You struggled to make it 12. And, that was his first probably 12-round fight. He got dropped late in that fight. The rematch with Garville, he get Alex Ariza, and this motherfucker throw 1,000 punches and don't get tired. And then down the line, he pop hot for cocaine with Alex Ariza. Was it really cocaine that was in the system, or was that masking, or that's what they reported? Ask yourself that question. A dude that was gassing out, didn't have no stamina, blowing up in between fights to 220, 230, whatever they say blew up to. And this dude coming here and he just get unlimited stamina when he at Alex Ariza. And people saying, "Oh, should he step up to light heavyweight? Do we want them problems? You're not trying to go up to light heavyweight and mess with that animal. You go to light heavy, you put him in there with that animal, you gonna wreck that kid. If he ain't willing to fight, give me a minute. If he ain't willing to fight Caleb Plant, why would he be looking for that grizzly bear? He said Benavidez win with 3 pounds. He said fighting Triple H said Benavidez fighting with 3 pounds of water and fat, but he had good performances according to his fanboys. All I see is a duck out of Plant fight, just like Canelo dropped the belt versus Andrade. Samir said David Bag. Hold on. Gotta go up. He said David been back using cocaine. I wouldn't be shocked if he's not clean. Johnny said I don't think Charlo beat him. I think Charlo can beat him. Not saying I'll put money on it. I can see it happening because I think Charlo slightly more experienced. I think Charlo walked right into that weight class and He won't. I don't think he'll drop nothing but a little bit of power. He got speed. He got a better jab. Think he a better boxer. I would take Charlo to win that fight. I'll probably be going on a limb on that one. But one thing I know about the Charlo twins, they be on point. They ain't never out of shape. That's just my opinion. He said Cecilia Braekhus lost to Callie. Yeah. Then Callie Reese dropped her. Yeah, she cool. She a cool gal. Yeah, he ain't go fuck with no better B. He better make that. He can't beat Beaver as well neither. He can beat like Gilberto Ramirez. You know what? I think Aldir Alvarez will give him some issues. Depending on what he look like next week versus Joe Smith Jr. He can beat Joe Smith Jr. He can beat John Pascal. He probably can beat Badou Jack at this point. But other than that, could he beat Aldir Alvarez? I mean, that fight next week with Joe Smith Jr., I'm not sure if that Alvarez that showed up versus Kovalev in the first fight, I don't see Benavidez beating that man right now. He like 36 years old, so he getting older. He said Charlo ain't had his chin tested. You crazy than a motherfucker. But Korobov was landing bombs on that jaw. Remember, Korobov dropped Jose Ustagi at 160. Way before Caleb Plant fought him. Korobov was landing that garlic butter on Charlo chin all night. Charlo got it. I'll take Charlo chin over Benavidez. Benavidez got dropped by Ronald Garville. I ain't saying Ronald no bum. I thought Ronald beat him in the first fight by a point. Shit, we talking about? Last time I seen Benavidez get clipped on the chin, he was on the floor. Did I park my car right here? Hell yeah. Shit, Charlo, I'll probably take I wouldn't be surprised to Benavidez. That'd be a good fight. I'll pay for that. That was supposed to be next. You know what I'm saying? Benavidez just like he be waddling around the way. You could tell he was a big dude. You know what I'm saying? But he did what he had to do last night. I mean, I'm not mad at the stoppage because that dude wasn't doing shit. He just stopped punching. We'll see how he does versus Chanko. Yeah, I mean, Chanko will be the best name on either one of their resumes. I mean, he got the better fighters. Who Benavidez fought? Oh, Anthony Durrell, Porky Medina. He did sleep a TMT fighter. Jalen Love, have him twerking on the canvas. He ain't fought nobody. He fought Ronald. Who he fought? J-Rock better than anybody Benavidez fought. Austin Trout better than anybody Benavidez fought. Korobov. You can make a chance for Hugo damn near being better than most of the guys he fought. So, you know what I'm saying? I think I'll take Charlo in that fight. But I'll be saying that now when Derevchenko beat up on Charlo. Like I said, that's gonna probably be the best fight that Premier Boxing Champions ever did. That's gonna be a knockout drag out war. I look forward to giving them guys credit for going there, but Benavidez, I heard some things. I'll save it for tomorrow, bro. I'll save it for tomorrow about that WBC title, man. I mean, I pretty much think everybody know where it's gonna go from here. If Al and somebody told me that Al Haymon was mad at Gary Russell for basically losing to Lomachenko and and losing that money. If he really holding a gripe over Gary Russell over that Lomachenko loss, after what's about to happen to that title, I hear he better be holding a gripe versus David Benavidez. He better hold a gripe versus David Benavidez because I don't think they getting that title back. I don't think they getting that title back. I'm just say that, bro. What I heard about to happen to that title, they ain't getting that title back. Johnny know what happened. He called it too. Johnny know where that title going. I haven't seen Jamal, but I watched Jamel channel. He already in shape. They don't train together. They both in shape. Al Haymon still punishing Russell Porter. Man, I'll talk about Gary Russell tomorrow, man. I mean, he out here, man, being the greatest whistleblower they ever been. What's so sad about Gary Russell is he a solid dude. I met the guy. He's solid. This will happen when you starve somebody out. But yeah, let's talk about McCaskill and Cecilia Braekhus. Then I'll open up for questions in a minute. You know, I talk about this UFC fight. And yeah, last night I caught a little bit of it. They both had cornrows in their head. The backdrop was beautiful. Fighting downtown. And you know, they both was, you know, like going to war and shit. You know what I'm saying? I seen the Callie Reese fight. I know Callie Reese dropped Cecilia Braekhus. She been on borrowed time. She been undisputed champion for a long time. McCaskills was, she was in there working. They was exchanging leather. Um, I didn't see the fight in its entirety because my stream froze. But long story short, I'm happy that Jessica McCaskills won. She's also with a banker as well. And Cecilia Braekhus wasn't trying to do shit but collect money at this point. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't trying to fight Clarissa Shields. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and people made every excuse in the book. That was my thing about it. People made every excuse in the book why she didn't need to fight Clarissa Shields, and that's one of the things that turned me off about it. Not that she wasn't a great fighter. Like I said before, you can make a case that, you know, Hannah Gabriel's beat Clarissa Shields. They should run it back. You can make all these different cases, but one thing I don't like about boxing is when it's this double standard. And one thing that I really don't like in boxing is when you got brothers sitting here, you know, going for Cecilia Braekhus and saying, "Well, she don't have to fight Clarissa Shields," and you know, she get money this place, but then they turn around and they blast Anthony Joshua, and they turn around and they talk about, you know, all these other dudes, you know, Joshua ducking Wilder, and they talk, and at the end of the day, my whole thing is this: you can't accept one ducker, you know what I'm saying, and then give another ducker a pass because you like him. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. At the end of the day, if you're a real champion, you know, you fight other champions. You know, you make big fights happen. So, you know, McCaskill, she deserved it. She deserved it all. Um, she got all the belts. It was a majority decision. They was in there exchanging leather. Cecilia Braekhus seemed like she, after the fight, I seen a post fight interview. It just seemed like she was relieved. Don't sound like she want a rematch or none of that nature. Hopefully McCaskill's going to do her thing this weekend. We got Katie Taylor taking on Delphine Persons. Think that is a rematch as well that most people thought Persons won. And, you know, that is what it is. Hopefully if Katie Taylor win this weekend, her and Serrano can make that fight happen. Hopefully Jessica McCaskill is going and be a fine champion for a long time. But other than that, man, I'm just tired of that double standard shit, man. I'm tired of, you know, but she don't have to do this. Fuck that. Fuck that. The best should fight the best regardless. You know, they make too many excuses for Cecilia Braekhus. Oh, she's the greatest female. Well, she's pound for pound number doing this, doing that. I'm glad she out the fucking way. Let McCaskills go on. You know, if she want to come back and rematch McCaskills, why not? Let McCaskills go on and be a good champion and carry on. Let Katie Taylor go back and get back. And, you know, she's one of the best female fighters right now, you know, out there. You know, everybody have a bad night. Let's make sure she come back, handle Persons, and she fights Serrano next time. You know, be a good fight. People have been saying Serrano will beat her. Let's see. Katie Taylor pretty good. Serrano pretty good. Let's get it done. We still got Heather Hardy out there. We still got Carissa out there. We still got Jimenez that's probably gonna make a comeback at some point. We got Francois. She's still out there. She got our titles back at 68. Her and Clarissa could be something out there. Old girl from Oakland. Yeah, just did the interview with y'all boy Beauty Shop. I want to see her and Clarissa fight then. You know what I'm saying? Why not? She want it. Clarissa supposed to be ducked. Let's get it done. I want to see Hannah Gabriel and Clarissa fight again. Why not? How about Callie Reese taking on McCaskill if Cecilia Braekhus don't want an immediate rematch? So female boxing has been pretty good. You know, they've been throwing down. Would I like to see them go to 3-minute rounds, 10 rounds? Why not? But the 2-minute rounds for the female boxers, you get more bang for your buck. They fight like the amateurs. You know what I'm saying? They have more. They have more. How can I say it? They have more time. They have less time, but they work more. It's all action through the 2 or 3 minutes that they fighting. Uh, there's more action, so you got to get it done in a smaller amount of time. So I'm gonna continue to cover some female boxing as well too. But he says are they going back and forth in the chat room? Old girl that had the knockdown in the 7 seconds. Oh yeah, I see. Yeah, oh man, that was despicable. He said Don Banks said I bet 250 on Jesse McCaskills and got 1,261 back. Damn, you should have put me on that one. You got the bag. I want to see Christian Gemini if I would be a big why not? She come back, fight, test clean, we good. I bet my life there on it, but he talking about I'm not getting into that one. You probably with a lot of dudes on that shit, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, let's talk about it and I'll open up questions. Last night I don't know if y'all guys saw the UFC fight. It was a good fight. We had two eye pokes. I think the scorecards was a little wild. Was it 49, 46, 49, 46, and 48? Was it 47? That was kind of how I thought the fight was, 48, 47. I mean, the first round, I thought you can give it to either guy. I thought DC won the first round. He landed some good shots. DC was dominating the second round. You know what I'm saying? And Stipe, had him doing the fat boy tuck and duck, and he hurt him. Then the third round, trying to remember. The third round, I think I gave it to DC, and then I think the fourth round, the eye poke happened, and after that, it pretty much was downhill. But they was going at it last night. Both showed tremendous chins. Both, it wasn't too much grappling and wrestling and shit. They was holding each other on the cage, trying to buy some time, but they wasn't in between each other's legs doing that shit. It was a glorified boxing match. You know what I'm saying? Really a glorified kickboxing match. The kicks was to keep each other honest, and you had a few front kicks, you had a few kicks to the head, and DC is just a dude that's fight. He's just a light heavyweight that's fighting at heavyweight, and Stipe is just a natural heavyweight that he got there was 6'4", strong. He ain't built, he ain't built like potato salad. Had a good chin, sturdy. It was sometimes that it looked like he would be out of there. He took that shit. Stipe gave it to DC. Sometimes that DC was gonna be out of there. One of them, it was the second round that DC was about to be the fuck up out of there. You know what I'm saying? And then the referee could have called the fight, and he gave DC the chance. And I'm talking to Lion Killer. I'm like, man, if that was Richard Steele, DC would have lost. You know what I'm saying? So, he said it was a bomb trilogy. Honestly, Stipe and DC both got good hands and good jaws. You know what I'm saying? They both took punishment last night. Kid Buzz saluting the super chat. They both took punishment last night and gave it. Obviously, you don't want to see the eye poke happen. The eye poke happened. The ref caught the Stipe eye poke when DC eye poked him. And then when DC got eye poked, he missed it. He admitted to it later, but DC said he couldn't see, and he just like, fuck it. He always going to be remembered for getting beat up by John Jones and like losing to Stipe them 2 times. And I knew that Stipe would win this fight. And everybody that commented in the community tab said it was going to be DC. I just think DC just, landed a punch on Stipe in the first fight. And I just thought it was just the punch. When Stipe got in the second fight, it just looked like he can really duplicate that more than DC can duplicate what he did in the first fight. DC said he had some back injuries and issues going to the second fight. But to me, man, that was worth my time last night. I didn't get an opportunity to really look at the undercard like that because I was watching the boxing. But Stipe do got some good boxing skills, and I think a lot of boxing fans they frown. They see two mixed martial arts fighters fighting and say, "Oh, they don't have no boxing skills." That Russian and Aldo was throwing down, bro. You know what I'm saying? And last night that was a glorified kickboxing match. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't even no kicks didn't really even land. They just kept people honest. They was throwing hands. They was legit throwing hands. It was a glorified boxing match last night, man. They was throwing hands, and when DC is shorter and he couldn't really wrestle the dude down, and Stipe was just bigger. His jaw held up, and he, the eye poke kind of made it shift one way, but you know what? He a dog. He had some really good hands last night, and DC had some good hands for a dude that had a wrestling background. But it'd be interesting to see John Jones jump up there and fight Stipe, man. You know what I'm saying? And he was going for DC yesterday, but at some point John Jones should. I know he supposed to be retired or left. UFC or trying to leave, But at some point, why not get up there and fight Stipe? You know what I'm saying? That'd be a good fight, Stipe and John Jones. I mean, Stipe got hands. I think Jones bring a different element if he can really grow into that weight class and be comfortable. He got elbows, kicks, and I'm all for it. Stipe probably be naturally stronger. You know, let's say let John Jones get a fight or two up there and get acclimated. But I'm all for that fight. You know, I'm getting more and more into UFC. And, you know, a lot of motherfuckers' generic answers, oh, the UFC boxing sucks. I see a lot of good boxing in the UFC. I see them sitting there trading good tens, and I'm not saying that these dudes can go into professional boxing and hold their own, but if Rolly is a professional boxer, you know, I think Stipe a better boxer than Rolly. Shit, DC had better boxing skills than Rolly. Aldo, the Russian he fought the other weekend on the Nigerian Nyquil and Masadov undercard. You know what I'm saying? Masadov got hands. Nate Diaz got hands. You know what I'm saying? Shit, Conor McGregor got back better boxing than Rolly. That would be a good fight. Jones got a good chance. Yeah, Stipe the shit though. You know what I'm saying? I'm surprised he didn't go for them body hooks from the second fight. He should have. DC has a nice left hook in the clinch. He said, "Man, where was our?" He had, "Man, where dudes are at an MMA career 15 years ago in night and day. Guys are so dynamic." Yeah, I agree. I agree. One championship here is at where it's at. I gotta check it out then. That would be a good fight. Okay. But yeah, man, that was a good fight last night. Usually around that time, man, I'll probably turn on the movie. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, man, let me check this shit out. Because I had it on my TV and the stream was fucking up last night. So I switched over. And they don't waste no time in UFC, bro. And at one point I didn't really notice it wasn't no crowd. That's how honed in I was. And I'm watching it and I'm looking at it and I'm like, man, this is a good fight. And sometimes you watch a fight and it drag on. Like the Benavidez fight just dragged on. It was repetitive after the first couple rounds. It was real repetitive. It was just him beating his ass. The Rolly fight held your attention because you had a natural boxer puncher, and or a natural boxer, Marinez, and Rolly. You when you got a puncher that's dynamic like Rolly, you waiting for him to land that one big shot. So that's always interesting when you got a big puncher going against a boxer because at any moment you feel you can clip him. But obviously, you know the scorecards was atrocious. But I was watching Kaufman and Otto Wallin. They said I kind of turned it because I had to get my chicken. And they said Kaufman threw a shoulder also. Happy retirement to Travis Kaufman. The Bullets Gotti show, salute. Jeff say UFC today, guys, got hands, kicks, ground game. It's funny, everybody ground game got to be on point where everyone negates each other damn near every fight. So now it's just clean striking skills. UFC is high. Yeah, man, I noticed that. They on their feet more than they on the ground nowadays. Still my favorite pirate fighter is Pettis. Pettis and Max Holloway. Out of the other guys, I like Khabib and John Jones. I like those guys. Masadov, Nate Diaz. I watch him if he fight. There's certain guys there that if they fight, I'll watch. But Pettis is one of my favorite guys to watch. And I like Max Holloway style. Max Holloway dope. I felt that he beat that former weightlifting motherfucker. UFC has more of the spirit of old school box. Yeah, because it's still green, bro. It's what 15, 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Let it kind of like spread out a little bit. And they kind of get more competition. Boxing has just been how can I say it? Boxing has been it's a gold mine where everybody trying to get their gold, and it ain't just Top Rank and Don King no more. It's everybody trying to get a piece of the pie in. It's corruption. But y'all got any questions? I'll answer them right now. I heard Stipe fought Brian Jennings in the amateurs. Oh man. I remember Brian Jennings and Wilder was a thing back in the day. They used to argue on radio shows, and if you ask somebody who was going to be the better heavyweight, a lot of people would have said Brian Jennings would have been the world champion. But Deontay Wilder kind of took off on dudes. UFC has more. Okay, I read down. Also, fighters that are only try and wrestle do not last long in the UFC. They know how to entertain the fans. Yeah, I mean, you put on great fight cards, you get on great fights. I mean, they've been on fire, man. Ever since Khabib and Conor McGregor took, kind of revived it, and John Jones helped revive it. Now they filled the void of Ronda Rousey being gone. It is what it. Do you believe that the lightweight today could compare to the lightweights in that? Hell no. Hell no. I don't believe in none of them motherfuckers like that. Not right. It's hard. You talking about some people that's developed. You had Duran, you had Chavez, you had Pernell, you had Shane who never lost. You had Morales, Barrera, Castillo, Corrales, Mayweather. I mean, shit. You. You don't know what they. It's hard. None of these lightweights gonna be able to compare right now until their career or materialize. None of the, I'm buying that shit. Khabib and Justin Gatley, I'm buying that shit. So I hear Miles down there barking. Teaching Mason how to bark that shit. But no, they don't compare to them motherfuckers. I mean, 80s, 90s, whatever. They don't compare to none of them. Durant whoop all them niggas in one night. But it take time, you know. You don't know if Devin can take a punch, T.O. can take a punch. Lomachenko don't even compare. You feel what I'm saying? Durant will make Lomachenko his bitch. Chavez will make Lomachenko his man. Mayweather, Chavez, Shane Mosley, all of them been a body bag Lomachenko. Let's just start there. Eric Morales will beat Lomachenko, I believe. He probably could beat Pacquiao. Will beat like, come on, man. Shit. Brandon Rios will give Lomachenko a run for his money because he got the style to be. Not saying he'd beat Lomachenko, but I remember Rios at lightweight before he started becoming weight drained. Seems like Bowman hitting that they was fighting for a belt. Then it's Pacquiao. I heard they got Pacquiao a nice offer, so either Pacquiao or Teixeira. Jason Sosa salute. I don't know what's going on. And Keith Thurman not coming back till next year. So Keith Thurman not coming back to January. So he just trolling like get the fuck out of here. Jackson Marinez might have lost on his record, but his career will take off from tomorrow. Take off from here for now. I promise. He should have stopped that dude last night. 21 strong. Salute. Any more questions? I take them as they come. Losses mean nothing in UFC. They come back 2 months later. It didn't. Man, Rios was a fucking monster at 35, bro. Before he got weight drained. What is you talking like? That what's so crazy to me is boxing fans can't separate what happened to compared to what was. That's what's crazy about it. Gamboa was willing to fight Crawford, but was never willing to fight. Was never willing to fight Brandon Rios. Let that marinate on your mind real quick. Gamboa did everything in his power not to fight Crawford. Sat on the bench and all that shit and got released from Top Rank. But he was willing to fight. But he didn't want to fight Rios, but he fought Crawford. That's what people laugh and say that shit. But y'all can't separate Rios from 40 and what Rios was. Now that's the problem when people compare. If people say, "Oh, how would the '80s, the lightweights of the '80s do?" You gonna look at what Chavez was at 40, 47, Duran at 26, 35, and what he was at 47, 54, going up to 60. Of course, his career is already materialized. You're not just sitting here looking at what Duran was at 35, what Rios was at 35. Remember, Brandon Rios is the reason why Lamont Peterson, little brother, ain't do shit. He took his whole soul. And Lamont Peterson, brother, was a knockout artist. He beat He beat Danny Jacobs. You know what I'm saying? He beat Austin Trout in the amateurs. Austin Trout told me himself. He said, I was just happy to go to full distance with Peterson, brother. He said Peterson, brother, was stopping everybody in the amateurs. Everybody. And Brandon Rios stopped all that shit. Made him quit basically with the TKO. But then again, a lot of motherfuckers don't know shit about boxing. If Bud and get Manny fight, they gonna be sick. They already pushing this Gary Russell shit, man. I ain't even talk about Gary Russell. Tank said Tank was better than Tank fanboy. What the shit? Tank could never be better than Roberto Duran. Roberto Duran probably beat Tank ass right now. Jackson Marinez versus Devin Haney would be a good fight. Man, I ain't trying to see that, bro. I ain't trying to see that, man. Devin need to fight somebody of a name. Azuma Nelson, Berto Gonzalez, Michael Cabral, Jorge Pisa. Jorge Pisa. Hold on. Shit moving. Boxing was dope. Yep. Zumanelsa had that early L to Salvador Sanchez and MSG, and he still came back and won. Style wise, Rios was tough. It's tough for Loma. That's all I'm saying. Before articulated, I don't know. Rios fought Abreu 35 Digny. He robbed that boy. Ricardo Abreu got robbed all the time. Him and Miguel Vasquez. But at that point, Rios was kind of drained, but I think he robbed Abreu. I can't remember. I think it was Abreu that Ricardo Abreu beat him, but they robbed him. But at that point, Rios was drained. But Lomachenko don't have the height and the reach of Ricardo Abreu. He don't have that height and reach. It's two different fighters. The boxers of the '80s had modern day sports science conditions. They'll be murdering motherfuckers. You ain't lying. I don't even think it's modern day science, bro. I just think they training was better anyway. The old school training, man, they was going 15 rounds. They knew how to breathe. I think they training methods was better. I mean, that's fighting like fucking 200 fights. These niggas today with the new modern day science and all that shit, they couldn't even fight. They can't even fight 4 times a year. You know what I'm saying? Mikey Duck Loma, he could have unified and Spence like Kell Brook did after Triple G. Yeah, he didn't want to fight Lomachenko. Mikey Garcia is one of the most underconfident punks in boxing. I said it. Hands of Stone will kill Tank and fight. Man, ain't even no fucking fight. He beat Tank ass. He might fuck Mayweather up too. Rolly versus Robert. That's 2 different weight classes. Robert at 40. That's a child abuse. Rolly can't fight, bro. He can't box or fight. Some niggas in the street can beat him. I'm telling you. Edwin Rosario, Livingston Bramall, Mancini, and Howard Davis Jr. Howard Davis Jr. won the gold medal, right? Really, boom, boom, Mancini. They fought way more back then. Most of these fighters wouldn't even make it past 12. You ain't lying. Imagine Tank in a 15-round fight. Shit, he'd be asked for a Twinkie in the corner. Ricky and PayPal, appreciate the love support, man. I missed that. I just picked up my shit was dead. You want to make a donation? Just make sure y'all share that video though. But Cash App, PayPal in the description if you want to donate. Man, Martinez will give anyone 30. I can agree he give people a run for his money at 35. Yeah, Mikey did unify versus. Yeah, he did unify versus Robert, the IBF and the WBC. The reason he got that WBC is because Jorge Linares ducked Denchinian. Yep, a lot of people don't know that. Y'all keep asking the questions. I think old school people in general were meaner. They didn't care about no social media or any bull jive. Fighters now are on their phones before training, along with the rest of the day. I mean, yeah, I mean, like I said before, Michael Nunn had 30-something fights before he got his first world title. Marvin Hagler had 40-something, 44 fights before he got his first world title or something like that, and he got robbed. Then 2 or 3 fights later, he got his title back. Thomas Hearns and Ray Leonard fought in their 20s, I believe. Crazy. Don't forget, Ray Leonard was young when he fought Rafael Benitez, and still didn't get no respect. You let one of these fighters get a Rafael Benitez fight, they gonna live off that for the rest of their career. Ray Leonard did all that before he was 30, bro. I believe Benitez, 2 fights with Duran, and Thomas Hearns. He did that before he was 30. If my memory serves me correctly. Man, man, these motherfuckers 30 and don't even have a career defining fight. Let that sink in for a minute. Sugar Ray Robinson won like his first 80 or 100 fights. That's nuts. That's nuts. Come on, he did all that before he was 30, bro. They still treat Tank like a baby. He 25. Mm-hmm. Jeff Box said boxing is the only sport where dudes from 60, 70 years ago would clean house outside the heavyweight division. He say 21 song, yeah, just watched those fights today. He said Jason Sosa Boxer say Dominic is making noise this year. Elvis Rodriguez, Jackson Marinez. Don't be surprised if Rosario pull off the upset versus Charlo. Hope they don't rob him. Fredo was champ at 17. That's insane, right? He was a bad motherfucker too. One of the most underrated fighters. People forget about him. He's a great fighter, bro. Right now, he probably be the best welterweight right now. Shit. You put him in there with Zab and Corey Spinks and Cotto and Shane Mo, man, he was just in the wrong era. Like Nate Campbell said earlier on the Lion Killer show. Wilfredo Benitez was just born in the wrong era. You put Wilfredo Benitez in this era, he'd probably be the greatest of all. People be saying he's the greatest of all time. What's the best fight from the 80s or 90s you recommend? Oh, I mean, Hagler and fucking Hearns. Hearns and Hagler. Hearns and Duran. Michael Nunn, James Toney. Going on and on. Michael Moore, George Foreman. All Mike Tyson fights, he's fighting every fucking week. It was just exciting. Mugabe, one of my favorites is underrated favorite. Mugabe and Hagler was a good one. Terry Norris and Julian Jackson was a quick one. Julian Jackson and Gerald McClellan won. Man, you can just keep going on with great fights in 80s and 90s. What else we got out there? Riddick Bowe and Holyfield fights. Lennox was kind of fucking boring, especially after he got knocked out. We just keep going on and on. Yeah, Taylor and Shaw, that shit make niggas mad. That fight and Duran and not Duran, but Pernell and motherfucking Chavez. Some motherfucking fights make me. Frankie Randall and Chavez, a couple fights, pretty good. Pretty good fights. Many current stars at 30 without signature wins. True. Yeah, you ain't lying. Motherfucker Sugar Ray Leonard fought Tommy Hearns in 1981. He turned pro in 77. Let that sink in for a minute, bro. And I know he was on the fast track because he was a gold medal winner. Let that sink in for a minute. He didn't do pretty much. He didn't fight much after that fight. Because the word on the street was Tommy Hearns injured his eye. But he turned pro in 77, bro. And in 4 years as a pro, he beat Benitez by TKO. He beat Roberto. He lost to Duran, beat Duran, and beat Tommy Hearns all before 81 was over with. That's crazy. Michael Roy Jones can generate buzz only because these fighters today ain't making no fights. A 913 boxer. He said 2 old timers would never get buzz back in the day. You ain't lying. Because they was fighting each other. Barrera and Nazim was good. Man, that shit was beautiful. Kevin Kelly and Nazim was a good fight. That was a better. Barrera just beat the shit out of Nazim. Remember he was saying that Augie Sanchez was better than Barrera. Barrera went in there and beat his ass. Chavez, Hector Camacho. About to get Jackson versus McClellan and Davis Jr. versus Rosario fight. Yeah, McClellan and Jackson. They fought twice. McClellan made quick work the second time of him though. But they were saying that he really got injured, in the Jackson fight. He really got injured, and then basically it, rolled over to the Nigel Benn fight. If they were around now, there'd be stupid fans arguing saying Ray Leonard and Hearns should marinate their fights. He boxing and wait a few years. They aren't ready for that bullshit. You ain't lying, bro. They was fighting, man. I used to miss Caesar's Palace. They used to have some, like, man, people like the boys used to come out for like Hearns and Hearns fight, bro. Hearns had the city on his back, dog. But you ain't lying. Oh, marinate the fight, man. They need to marinate this. Shit, Ray Leonard was able to live off that the rest of his career, bro. He didn't have nothing but 5 or 6 fights after that. Yo, later 90s, but James Toney versus Gerard was the shit. We got a lot of good fights, man. I mean, I'm trying to think. Those fights we had then, man. You got some good fights in the 2000s too, though. Oscar and Tito. You had some really good fights then too. A lot of fights happened from 2000 to 2009. Boxing still was pretty good. But the difference was kind of from the 80s. I can't remember when HBO took over. That was kind of the transition mode when they took boxing to premium television. Yeah, it's good fights all over the place, man. In the 2000s, man. Jermaine Taylor and Corey Spinks is one of the ones I hate to watch. I felt Corey Spinks won. Um, Stinky Winky versus Bernard. Jermaine and Bernard twice. Shit, I'm just trying to think of the ones I can remember. There's great fights in the 2000s, all over the 2000s, bro. 2000s wasn't half stepping in my Big Daddy Kane voice. They was in full effect. They just took the game to network television, premium network television. De La Hoya Icor. I was watching that not too long ago. That was a good fight. You had just good fights all over the board. Any more questions? I answer them. Boxing was good until 2010, 11. Like 9 is really where it turned at though. When they started Pacquiao and Mayweather and all that shit, man, that's where it turned at. But it didn't turn instantly. You had guys still fighting each other. Tim Bradley, Amir Khan, all of them was fighting each other, bro. Kirkland was fighting, good fights, and Triple G came over a little bit around that time, and like when Triple G came over, it was kind of like the turning of the guards. You know what I'm saying? He kind of was on that business tip, and then Martinez and Paul. I mean, yeah, just good fights. Martinez and Pavlik. Only fight I wish I would have seen was Pavlik and Arthur Abraham. They didn't fight. I'm trying to figure out how did Arthur Abraham not fight Triple G didn't want to fight Arthur Abraham. They both was in Germany. He said, "Man, I'm more a fan of the 40s and 50s. Kid Gaviline and Johnny Barton. The best trilogy in my opinion. I gotta check that out." He said Buddy and Sweet Pea. Yeah, Buddy McGurf was dope. People forget. I forget even he fights sometimes. Buddy McGurf seemed to pretty much have his faculties, man. Buddy McGurf don't seem to like had took a lot of punishment because he speak well and he real responsive. Buddy McGurf is like a lot of these older fighters be talking mush mouth and shit. Buddy McGurf was, he pretty. He seemed like he took care of himself. And Ronnie Shields. Ronnie Shields don't seem like he took a lot of, punishment. The old school fights from the 80s and 90s are the best fights to watch and to really learn from. I agree. Forrest and Mayorga just had his number. Yup. Forrest and Shane, Winky and Shane, but Mayorga just had Forrest's number like Forrest has Shane number. Forrest, Vernon Forrest is the reason that Al Heyman's in boxing. I had an interview on my Facebook page, but yeah, him and Kostya was my favorite Olympic fight to watch. That was a good fight. If y'all ain't seen this on YouTube, the Olympic finals between I think it was a gold medal, Kostya and Vernon Forrest. It's a good fight. Buddy McGurf had good defense. You could tell. The 70s have the best heavyweight fights. Who was in the 70s? Are you taking like Norton, Shavers? Muhammad Ali was kind of like he wasn't all the way old, but mostly was old. I would say Foreman was in there. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Norton Shavers was thumping. Do you believe Dimitri Prugar would have been able to beat? Yeah, he probably could have beat Triple G. But he had back issues. Even after he beat Danny Jacobs, he had some questionable fights. Or questionable fight. I can't remember who he fought. Hell, even more in Force One was pretty good. He's not even America. Robert Garcia versus Diego Corrales. Cell Block saw it really random, but Gallimore is going to beat Frondora this weekend. Plus 200 opening odds. I mean, I can see that happening. I don't think Fondora know how to use his height and his reach the right way. I can see that happening. Holmes and Shavers, yeah, that was Larry Holmes had some wars. One of my favorite heavyweights. Floyd said that's one of his top fighters. People that remember what Larry Holmes went through, man. Good fighter, beat the shit out of Gary Cooney too. I think Thurman gonna fight Ugas in January. I doubt. I mean, I doubt. I don't think Keith Thurman in the business of fighting for regular belts. And a regular belt don't promise you a mandatory. Cotto versus Mosley and Judah were class. Yeah, I like both of them. He broke down Judah to the body. That's kind of when Shane was kind of getting old, but he still had it. Mosley, I mean, Cotto was a machine before Margarito. Yeah, Kevin Kelly and Zine was. Yeah, that shit was funny. He came out for the Halloween motherfucking theme. That was a good fight. I still be watching that fight. Still trying to understand how Kevin Kelly lost that shit. Chris Nazim was just all over the place, bro. At least Rosario didn't get robbed because he knocked out J Rod. No, I know how Charlo felt when he lost to Harrison. Man, he lost to Harrison. Should have did what he supposed. He should have did what he did in the second fight. He was getting his ass beat in the second fight, and he was about to rob Tony Harrison regardless. Who fight next weekend? Dillian White, taking on Povetkin, Slave Master, Eddie Hearn headquarters, Katie Taylor, Delphine Person, Elder Alvarez, and Joe Smith Jr., Sean Porter, and Sebastian Formello on Fox, and Gallimore and Sebastian Fondora supposed to be the co-main event. And funny you bring up Sebastian Fondora, Nathaniel Gallimore. I'm just saying how unprofessional PBC is. It was 1 week before the fight yesterday, and they still didn't have an undercard listed for that fight. Ain't that crazy? They didn't have no card listed for Sean Porter and Sebastian Formello. It was leaked that Fondor was going to fight Gallimore. They didn't formally announce that. That's terrible. You got a week out before a fight, and you don't have an undercard listed. It's crazy. Margarito was a cheater. Yep. Judah had fought Cotto after that suspension. He needed a tune-up fight. Who you got? Charlo, Derbychenko. I don't know. I pray favor Charlo. I ain't really watched no film. There's not seen the best corkscrew uppercut in boxing history. Now I think about that. He was okay. I really wasn't no fan of his, man. That motherfucker had no balance. You know, I was happy when Barrera stopped that ass. I ain't got no issue with him. Povetkin might stop. Well, I'm hoping on it. Man, there's interviews of Nassim talking about Kevin Kelly fight. GP did an edit, and it's so hilarious. Nazim all day old, but he still got the same swag. Jaden say Rolly should rematch. He said he gonna rematch him, according to my boy. Dangle say if it doesn't get Thurman Manny last fight, we'll still upgrade after Manny last. They don't like upgrade, bro. It don't work that way. Go read the WBA Super Rules. It don't work that way. They don't just upgrade you. You know, a lot of times you gotta have a certain amount of defenses, or you gotta unify the regular title with another title to be Super WBA champion. So they don't just get the regular belt and upgrade you. They don't work that way. Go ask Albert Machado, who your best white fighter of all time. That many of them. I don't know. Most people, Jack Dempsey or some shit like that. Marciano, man, you know they his whole career was a facade, bro. It was a setup, man. So I don't know. Put me on the spot there. He said it just happened with Gonzalez. Which Gonzalez? Chocolito? Depends. It's not gonna happen like that, bro. With that title, man, you're not gonna get upgraded, man. You know how long Keith Thurman held the interim title in the WBA regular title, bro? He didn't become Super WBA title till he fought Danny Garcia, bro. Go check that out. No, Brazil was flawed, but he was the dude at 26 for sure. Actually, would have been undisputed. He beat all the active belt holders of his time, but he had the WBO, so they stripped when they got signed. David Green, what you think about Alvarez versus Joe Smith? That's a good fight. Alvarez was almost 40 years old, so I mean, Joe Smith Jr. could punch. Alvarez got a jaw. I don't know, man. I probably like Alvarez to outbox him. You know, this ain't no motherfucking Jesse Hart shit. This ain't no Jesse Hart shit, bro. He was talking shit on the internet too to somebody. That shit was funny. I was like, he's showing his face after that performance. I say he's the greatest white fighter ever, though. His career is smoke and mirrors. Yeah, it is. I gotta think about that shit for a minute. So we gotta define what white is. Are we talking about like European? And well, most white people you come from Europe, so we talking about best white American fighter. I mean, it's hard. You got guys like Brasilio, Steve Collins. I mean, he was from the UK though. I mean, I don't know, man. I got to give me a list. I like Chocolito, but he lost to Sora Rubinstein. I was there that night when he fought him the first time. And I told motherfuckers he was going to lose to him the second time, too. AB, I heard that's in December. First red cast. That's what AB said out his mouth. Some say Willie Pep. Oh, yeah, Willie Pep. Hell yeah, I like Willie Pep. It was a lie that he went around without throwing a punch. That's a fact check. Does Canelo have knee problems? Yeah, he got knee problems. Yeah, I heard that. I mean, you gotta think about the fighters, man. You got a lot of fighters back in the day that don't get no play because Jake LaMotta, you know what I'm saying? Brasilio, he did beat Ray Robinson once, I believe. Jake LaMotta beat him once. Man, it's hard, man, just to think because the white fighter just been gone for a long time, but it's been Jack. Then you got a lot of fighters throughout history that I'm just forgetting about. You know what I'm saying? Sandy Sadler. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, you think AB can make 30? He probably can make 35. He a naturally small dude. I don't know if he could be functional at 35. I think Leo loses by controversial decision to Tank. I don't think so, brother. I don't think ain't nothing gonna be controversial about that fight. It should be an ass whooping. Tank ain't beat him, then I don't know what to say. You know what I'm saying? But I don't like the way Tank training though. It just seemed like Mayweather just be letting it like I don't know. Maybe they don't be listening. Mayweather don't got that boy putting his punches together. He's still looking for one or two big shots. When he runs into somebody that can take the one or two big shots, he gonna be in problem, man. That's what really make a fighter dangerous. When he got the punching power and he can put them all together. That's what kind of make Ray Leonard dangerous. He can punch and he can put his shots together. You know what I'm saying? Tommy could punch, he could put his shots together. Hagler, what made Hagler so dominant was Hagler was not he could switch hit too. He was a southpaw, but he had a jaw. He can brawl. He can box. You know what I'm saying? That's what made him so dangerous. However you want it, Hagler can deliver it to you. You want a war, you want to brawl, you want to box, you want to stick and move, you want to fight in the pocket, you want to fight me as a righty. It didn't matter. Complete fighter. That's a complete fighter. Duran, he can box, he can brawl, he can pressure. However you want it. That's why Duran was able to climb up. I think he was 26, 30, 35, 47, 54. I mean, he kept climbing. He can climb that high because he had the skills. Real talk. He had the skills. Ever since Tank couldn't take a ruptured Achilles, I mean, that's for one, that's at 35. And for two, who knows if Leo can take that punishment? Gamboa took that punishment. That's the difference. Do you think a New York will continue to go up? And yeah, he going up. They probably try to get him to fight. He probably be fighting Lomachenko. Him innovate things. That's why Lomachenko moving back down. Probably Burchett. Lomachenko signed his new contract, top right contract. He probably gonna if he beat Tio, he probably gonna fight Burchett, Benavidez, and he probably gonna fight Shakira. That's probably gonna be the end of his career, and there's probably gonna be some makeshift fights in there as well. But if he loses to Teofimo Lopez, I'm not sure they're gonna bring him back. He said the same thing with Rolly. Mayweather's around, but he hasn't taught him how to box or rely on his part. Man, he relying on nothing. But in New York, they dressing him up for. They say old boy Casimir gonna be on the Charlo undercard. So yeah, that's gonna be the final fight. So you got Ruben Villa fighting somebody, Barrios, Brandon Figueroa, Danny Roman. So that's gonna be a nice little card. I don't like how they filled them out with small guys. I think they should have put Charles Martin on the undercard. Kanauki could have been on that undercard. They could have showcased Tony Harrison on that. Maybe Tony wasn't ready, I guess. They could have put Nathaniel Gallimore and Sebastian Fondor on that undercard. They could have put Sean Porter and Formella on that undercard. Shit. I think they should have mixed it up with some bigger fighters, man. Yeah, I don't tank train hard for fights. He is in better shape. He is in a better shape. Yeah, I seen the recent sparring footage of Tank. Wasn't really impressed other than dropping the left hand to the body, right? But loading up one or two shots. Yep. And that's how you gonna get. That's how Leo can beat him. If he load up on shots, get tired. That's what Rolly did. Like this, Floyd Mayweather teaching him how to, change speed and put shots together. Somebody in the sparring footage was saying like, you ain't got to put all on one. Like I said before, man, it ain't enough teachers out here, man. A lot of times these kids don't listen. So Haggard didn't want no smoke with the body. Yeah, man, everybody ducked somebody. Yeah, Mike McCullum was a dog. James Toney fought an old McCullum, and they fought to the draw, and I think Tony won the second fight. But McCullum really wasn't going to the body on James Toney. That was a good fight. I just was watching that a few months ago. Rolly need to go. Rolly need to be in the parking lot. He shouldn't even be allowed in the gym. I knew you wanted Loma will be interesting. That's the plan. Thumper Lane box side. Rolly can't beat no man. There's a few niggas in here that could beat Rolly around his size, bro. Right here in this chat room. Come on, man. Man, he makes Shane Mosley Jr. look like a world champion. He said Tony said McCullum was his hardest fight. Yeah, he can tell. Rolling the same way when he sparred and loaded up and those for you up. McCullum on all-time gate ran right through Julian Jackson. That shit was nuts. It was good. Houston, Texas, in 10-8 round salute. Yeah, man. McCullum was a motherfucker, man. Ain't nobody wanted to see McCullum. Nobody wanted to see that, man. Old Jamaica. He in Devin Haney corner these days. I like Mike McCullum, man. Him and James Toney. Ooh, that was a war. James Toney had some good ass fights. He had a good fight with Michael Nunn, second to none. Michael Nunn, second to none, was pound for pound number one when he beat him. Lee Selby beat the hell out of Rolly ass, bro. That's a joke. Rolly needs to drop his trainer and stop slap boxing with his pops. That motherfucker need to go get a job at Winn-Dixie's or Kroger's or some shit. Gary really would fight, but I'm not gonna speak about Gary. I'll say that tomorrow, man. The motherfucker just looking worse and worse. You guys remember Joan Guzman? That dude, yeah, he was training with Floyd Senior for a minute. I don't know what happened to him. Floyd Senior might beat Rolly. Shit, Mike. Niggas out. It's a man. Well, welcome to my man that used to be a little kid that's sparred with Floyd. Cash flow would be Rolly right now. He would be about 13, 14, 15 these days. Ryan Garcia, man, that's a spar. Ryan Garcia beat the shit out of Rolly ass, bro. Ryan Garcia beat the hell out of Rolly. That's sparring in a real fight, man. Ryan Garcia been putting on his ass. After what I seen last night, man, anybody in the top 15 can beat Rolly, bro. There's some dudes in the top 20 that can beat him. Real talk. I'll be he said only Guzan Roberto Soto was a damn good fight. Hold on, mad underrated. Roberto Soto was a G. I remember he fought up with Matisse. Took that ass whooping like a G. He was old though. Guzman was talking ish last night on IG since his countryman Martinez got robbed. Got to. They stay robbing Cubans and Dominicans and blacks. They the most robbed fighters out there, bro. I'm talking about the robberies in history with Pernell and Duran, all that shit, man. How did Rolly get such a large social media following? Do you truly think he that played into it? No, Floyd Mayweather pockets played into it. That's all it was. I'm telling you, CJ, a C-level fighter will man, shit, an E-level fight. It's some amateurs that'll work him, man. Some amateurs that you can put gloves on a dog, and a dog will probably outbox Rolly. You know. the hell at his peak. Let me get out of here, man. Appreciate y'all. Don't forget social media links in the description: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Don't forget share the videos. Appreciate the love, support. He said, "Who are the best teachers in boxing today?" That's hard to tell, man, because I ain't in camp with them. And these kids don't listen regardless, so that's gonna be hard to tell. But I appreciate the love, support. Keep sharing.